David, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Y'all doing all right?
We're
We're
doing
doing
pretty good.
okay.
We're doing pretty good. We saw you at the Rustic here in Houston not too long ago. Um,
Was it? It was June.
yeah,
Yeah,
June.
I think it's been just about a month, hasn't
yeah.
Yes.
It's been a long, long month
it?
here in
Yeah.
Houston since then.
Yes.
But I appreciate you joining us. I know before, right off the bat, you told kind of your story about getting started in Nashville and headed down here to the Texas scene. I'd just love for you to tell that story for our listeners again and kind of how your journey there.
Yeah, man. I guess we start from the very beginning. I'm from Central Arkansas, and my hero is George Strait, which I know in Texas that's the most cliche thing to say. Well, I'm not from Texas, so. um, but no, my folks took me to see George Strait when I was 3 years old, and man, right then and there, I knew it's what I wanted to do, and so I would put on a concert for anybody that would listen, even if that meant my Ninja Turtles. um, my dad started taking me to nursing homes, this little group that he played with from work, and so when I was 5 years old, man, every Monday night during the school year, we'd go to nursing homes. I'd do talent shows, whatever I could, just anywhere I could find a stage and sing until I got old enough to really start my own band. So I did that in high school. I took a pay cut to move to Nashville. Man, I was making good money every week in high school with no bills.
There
And
you go.
but no, I knew that I was making trips over to Nashville, and I kind of could see the pros compared to what I was playing with at home. And so you know what you're aiming for. And I made my parents happy and did the college thing for a half a semester. That was a good waste of money at times, but um, I decided finally in '07 to pack up and move there. And so I did. And I spent 11 years of my life there. I mean, I signed a record deal and a publishing deal within that first year. Things moved really, really fast. But ultimately, I was a very sheltered and very naive and very non-business smart kid thrown into a very opposite world. And so
I bet.
I got myself in some contracts that took a long time. That I guess we're gonna be honest, I signed my first deal in '08, and I just got out of the final parts of it last summer. So,
Wow.
Wow.
um, but it was all a growing experience. Like I said, it led me to getting to write with a bunch of cats that I should never been in the room with. I got to tour across the country. I had a single on the Billboard chart. I mean, it was. I truly say I went there and that was my college. So, I the biggest knock I always had was just that I was hell bent on doing traditional country. And I mean, to a point where I was chasing and dressing in ways I'd never dressed, singing songs I was embarrassed of. And I finally it really started with Daryl Singletary. I ran into him one day and he just looked me up and down and goes, "What in the hell are you doing, boy?" And I said, "Just coming to see you." And he goes, "Don't give me that crap." I'm trying to use my deep Daryl voice, but he just straight up looked at me. He goes, "Man, you're one of the few guys that gave me hope for real country music." He goes, "Quit listening to the people on the road and get back to your roots." And man, when you have somebody that is a big influence of yours basically smack you in the face with some truth like that, it gut checks you. And so I did, and it was a long process, man. I went from trying to get another pub deal to writing the bro stuff to just trying to be a songwriter and write everything that I absolutely can't stand, but I want to have a career. And I just started kind of trying to, as I call it, unbrainwash myself. I started trying to relearn how to write great songs again and get back to my roots. And in the meanwhile, I somehow got linked up with Trent Willman and we started writing. And I got the chance to sign my second record deal, which I wasn't too keen on doing, but at the time we needed something. But I try to find a positive in everything. And I got to do a record, and I got to do that record with Trent. And so, that really opened the doors to where he got me to open up for Cody Johnson, which led to me opening up for, Aaron Watson and Josh Abbott. And I can't remember who all it was over about a 2-month span, just a bunch of Texas guys. And every single week they'd come up to me and go, "Why are you in Nashville, man? You kill it in Texas. Like, come on." So
Yeah.
after hearing that for about 2 months straight, I went, "Okay." I said, "I'm moving." And a week and a half later, I was gone.
Well, and that's
Heck yeah. We're glad you're here because we've really enjoyed seeing you and at your show and listening to your music. So welcome.
Well, I appreciate it, man. And
well.
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say blowing up is exactly kind of what you've done over the last year or so. I know that we've certainly noticed it, and I think the first one I heard was "She Only Wanted Flowers," and I was hooked with that one, And then you the newest one, Neon Town, is
Yes.
seems to be doing great, and we love that one.
And
Yeah,
so
man,
does
it's
our
been.
daughter. She loves it. She knows every single word.
Well, I remember y'all saying her favorite song's Unwound. I was like, that's a smart kid right there. So,
But
um,
she's got your song pegged and she knows every single word and we're just like, "Oh my gosh."
And
that's
she did
awesome.
that after listening to it like twice. She's
Twice. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, I mean, and I've had my battles when I got to Texas, but I mean, it has. I tell this part on stage all the time. I said, you want to know a gut check? Go from tour buses, sold out, packed shows, getting even being in arenas sometimes to moving to Texas, doing 4-hour cover gigs, hauling your own PA for $200. I mean, that was,
Wow. Yeah.
and it did. I when I first got here, I went, okay, I'm here now. What? And I moved to Granbury, Texas, and I found a little bar down the road, and I literally just went in, knocked on the door, and I went, "Hey, man, do y'all have live music?" I didn't know where to start. In Nashville, you got one town that everybody just floods to, and you just
right.
figure it out. In Texas, I'm like, well, this is a whole state. Whereas, like, in Nashville, Losers is one of the bars that everybody kind of migrates to, and I'm like, where's the Losers here? And well, there's not one. You just got to go out and meet people. And I was like, well, how the hell do I do it? So I luckily Curtis Grimes was a really good buddy of mine and still is, and he's one of them that encouraged me. He was coming to Nashville, and we were writing together for probably 2 or 3 years before I made that move, and he had always told me, like, man, if you really decide to do this, holler at me. So I called him up, said, all right, I'm here. Now what?
That's
And
great.
he's honestly a lot of the reason I think I've moved so fast. Instead of sitting in the stockyards doing those 4-hour gigs, I jumped right into being able to jump out with just me and a guitar and open up for Curtis for many, many weekends in a row, and kind of got the chance to establish myself as an artist compared to just, that cover guy, And so man, we decided to throw that first single out to Texas radio, which was Beer Bucket List. And I didn't know what to expect. All you hear is you ain't from Texas and you went to Nashville, man. Just don't get your hopes up. And I mean, even the radio promoter was just, man, it'll be a miracle if we get this thing in the top 20. And shoot, we got a #1 off of it. And
I mean, Texans are funny like that, but
We're kind of have a conversation about that
yeah,
this
about
week.
how the Texas music scene can be a little sensitive.
yeah,
And but they certainly seem to have embraced you, and I know we have. So and you know guys, bands like Muscadine Bloodline that aren't from here, but they're
yep,
recognized as a hardworking independent band that has good music. And so Texas has really embraced them in the same way. And so, we even brought in Oklahoma, with the red dirt scene there. So it's a sensitive, fickle group that they kind of pick and choose, and they'll go
right.
one way or the other.
Well, and I think that's one thing with me is I've tried to be as authentic as possible. So I'm like, man, I ain't from Texas. I ain't gonna try to act like I am. I grew up loving George Strait in the '90s act. So yeah, I wore my Wranglers, I wore my cowboy hat, and when I got to Nashville, I was told to take it off. But I'm too country for Nashville, and I ain't a Texan. So wherever the hell I fit, I'm just gonna put my music out and hope people like it.
Well, you sound like you're from Texas, so
Well, I did. It's funny with my accent, which my mom and one of my sisters are just twangy as all get out. But I used to always get growing up, "Are you from Texas?" "No, I'm from here in Arkansas." "What do you ask me that for?" And then I got over here to East Texas, and I was like, "All right, I get it. I do sound. I don't know where it came from."
I grew up in East Texas. I think I've lost some of my accent, unfortunately, but you definitely sound like East Texas for sure. You sound like my people.
Yeah, put a little whiskey in me, it gets even
Yeah,
slower and a little more like
yeah,
so. Yeah,
too.
well, I just get louder, so
yeah, I can do that too. So hey, we're on the same boat.
Well, I think
well,
Tara
hold
had
on.
some
I
good.
want you to show him what we have on our
Oh
wall.
yeah, I think
Can you see that? What
that
we have on our wall
that
back
is
here?
Oh yeah, that's awesome. That's
we when
oh
the
that yeah
COVID.
that's right. Y'all told me about that Houston show at Spring I did with John Stewart.
Yeah,
Yes.
when COVID hit and the venues were trying to figure out how to survive. Big Texas and Spring did an auction on concert posters, and she had some Deep Eddies, and I think I had some whiskey, and we went nuts and
Hey
started
man,
buying autographed concert posters. But we were
well
trying to.
that might
It
be
just
worth
ended up
something now.
closing anyway.
Yeah.
you know, them closing their doors now. That's another venue we lost here. So that's
Yeah.
I'm glad somebody I know got a keepsake from that.
That's
So
right.
Yeah.
But hey, and then four of our favorites, you know, it's Randall King, Sam
yeah,
Riggs, John Stork, and David Adam Byrnes. So
I
we
love
got
it.
lucky on
Yeah.
those.
I love it, man. I love John. I mean, you know, Randall's one of the names I started looking up when I got here. I said, all right, who's the guys that kind of do what I do, and I found Randall, and I think that's the only knock I have on this record of mine that'll be coming out. Is I said, man, if I'd have known I was moving to Texas, I think I'd have made it even more daggum country than it already is, and it's pretty daggum country. But I started hearing stuff like that, and I went, I am definitely at home if this is what the artists are putting out. So
Heck
I love that
yeah.
stuff.
Well, you know, and something else we've talked about Texas country music is it can be pretty broad. You can get the
Hmm.
real country,
There's
and then
subgenres.
yeah, you can have the rock, and then you know when we went to your show at the Rustic, when we first got there, you were setting up, and you were you know in your baseball cap and shorts, and I was like, okay, what's this gonna be? And then when the show came on, you came out in the cowboy hat and full blown dress, and I was like, okay, here we
Yeah.
go. We're about to hear some country music.
Oh
So it
yeah,
was
yeah. I mean,
nice. It
it
was
is.
really
I
nice.
mean, we were going somewhere that was kind of somewhere up north, I think. You know, and I showed up in like shorts and a t-shirt. And just, man, I thought he dressed like cowboy. You know, I was like, you travel in a car for 12 hours and see if you want to wear starch jeans. The answer's going to be no. But
Yeah. So we love all of it, and that's something
yeah,
that we really enjoy is because you do get the different, what do you call it? You called it
Like
something.
like if Texas country music is a genre, there are subgenres within
yeah,
Right.
it. I mean, you have your really rock guys like your Co Wetzels and Cody West and stuff like that, all
hmm
the way to the really country guys like yourself and Randall King and
Josh
Josh Ward.
Ward. Yeah.
yeah.
So, but
Well, and
we
I keep
love
hearing
all
it
of it,
called now Texas music instead of Texas
right?
country, which, you know, I love that. You know, I mean, obviously there is a part where guys like me get in a little bit of a battle. Because I mean, let's be honest, the rock and more pop stuff has always been more, I guess, bigger numbers than country. So we have to watch and make sure we're not getting too close to compare to that. But I love the fact that this state's able to really put every music style and every bit of their music scene on a pedestal and showcase it. I mean, that's, you know, for me, I said, man, I said, I want to win over Texas, but I want to take this music and let the rest of the dang country and the rest of the world know it's here. You know, I mean, you see Randy Rogers and cats like that touring all across the country, but you know, I hear so many people mad because like, man, there ain't no country music in Nashville anymore. So quit looking in Nashville. You just gotta know where else to look. And there are a lot of
Yeah.
people that don't know about this scene. And it's like, man, if me using that nationwide and worldwide platform I have to let people know about this, and I'm doing what I need to do. I mean, that's real country music's out there and it's in Texas. You just gotta find it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it. So I do have some questions. He gets in like the real, you know, I don't
Yeah, I like to talk about the music and the
Yeah.
songwriting and the
I like
how
the fun
how a
stuff.
song came to be. She likes to get to know the person, which I do too, but she's more fun than I am, or at least
That's
that's what
right.
she tells me.
You got to have both sides of it. So we got the best of both right there in one picture. So
That's right. That's right. So, you know, one thing that we were kind of talking about yesterday is, you know, we love acoustic shows, we love full band shows, and they are different. And so one thing that
mhm.
really grabs us is, you know, the way the guitar sounds, the way the drum sounds. So I want to know, can you tell us who's in your band?
Yeah, we've kind of had some turnover here. In fact, a few guys have changed now since you've seen me. But my drummer is Sean Dawson. He lives over in Campbell, Texas. He actually was in Miranda Lambert's band before they fired the Texas guys and got the Nashville cats. But man, he's played with Doug Stone and a lot of big cats. I'm lucky as heck to have
Wow.
him. He's kind of morphed into our band leader. And our guitar player, one we had hired right before the quarantine thing happened. That's why I got a brand new band, and then everything stopped, and we
Oh,
talked to each other on the phone for like 3 months and never saw each other. But
Wow.
our guitar player is he's from Bernie, Texas. His name is David Casey, and then we actually just had our first gig on the 4th of July with our new bass player. His name's Eric Sykes. He's definitely more of a rocker guy, and it shows. But I like what he brings to the table. And then
Yeah.
I'm hoping our old guitar player Kyle Root, he lives over in Shreveport, Louisiana. He had to quit right before COVID went down, and then was able to come back, but now we hadn't had any shows with the full band. But he's gonna be coming back and playing pedal steel for us. So.
Oh, great. That's awesome. All right, my next question. Where's your dream place to play in Texas?
Man, I get asked questions like that always. I mean, obviously Green Hall was it, but I've gotten to play it. So it's like, well, we've checked that one off the bucket list.
Hey, congrats on that. That's awesome.
Man, it was, it's back to that stuff, just how quick things moved. I mean, I got to play Green Hall, I think, within the first 6 months of living here. And I'm like,
Wow.
is this right? I'm not supposed to do this yet, am I? But
that just shows you, I mean, you've gotten the right, got with the right people. You're doing great things, because that's awesome.
We've played there twice now, and then I was supposed to be there a third time during the quarantine, and we ended up doing a Facebook takeover, and they made T-shirts that said I'd rather be at Green Hall for me and Curtis's show we were supposed to have done there, so that was pretty cool.
Oh heck yeah!
Have you done Copeland Dance Hall yet?
That's one of my. So I guess the two kind of the big boy places I hadn't got to do yet is that one and Billy Bob's, which I've been to the awards that I was nominated for at Billy Bob's, but I hadn't got to step on that stage, so. Those are the two left that we hadn't had a chance to play yet that I really want to make sure we get to.
Well, that's awesome. So that's something that when we ask that question and we ask, where's that dream place? We always tell the artist, all right, your first time to play there, we'll be there. So.
Hey, I love it.
Yeah.
All right. So here's another one I got for you. What is your favorite 90s country song to play?
Oh, man. That's like, I don't know if I can narrow that down to even 10 or 50. I mean, a lot of my favorite stuff you heard in that show that night. I mean, my absolute favorite cover song in general to play is Unwound. And
yes.
Man, even back in my Nashville days, anytime I'd sit in at the fiddle and steel or whatever, like I had to play that song every single. I don't know if it's just that bass that, but something about that song, I can be tired or just in a bad mood and throw me on stage and I'm just, let's go. So I don't know what it is about that song, but as far as a 90s one, if there's a steel guitar on stage, I love playing Too Cold at Home, but I don't know, man, any of that Tracy Lawrence, Mark Chestnut stuff, I love playing all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And whenever you played at the Rustic and we heard you play Unwound, we're like, oh my gosh, he's playing it. So
that's I always tell her, I've tried to figure out, I'm trying to switch around some of the covers in the set, but that's one of them. I'm like, I don't care if it's 30 years from now. I love that song. That's my favorite George song. And yeah.
Yes. All right. And my last question for you is, when you're not playing and you're at home or you're in the car and you're listening to music, who are you listening to?
What's funny is I go through spurts. There's times where I will drive for 8 hours and not listen to a single thing. Silence sometimes is kind of nice because I don't get much of it. But I kind of go through a rotation. There's times that I'm back just listening to that old 90s stuff, and that could be anywhere from Singletary to Bird to Shenandoah to Diamond, I mean, all that stuff. And then, there's times I love cranking up and listening to some of that Nashville stuff. Like, Eric Church's very first record from a songwriter standpoint, it's one of the records that molded me and made me really just, when it comes to songwriting, the twisty stuff and the way he, I kind of just,
I've heard a lot of people say that about that record.
Man, that record and the Trent Tomlinson records both came out at the same time. And like, that was when I just graduated high school and I heard those and I went, whoa, there's songwriting and then there's songwriting. And so I'm just like, I'm wanting to challenge myself or want to try to get some ideas. I'll go listen to that stuff just to try to get my brain going. But then I'll also times too, I'll try to just find people I've never heard of and just see if it inspires me or sparks something. I'm never one of them guys that'll ever steal a song or something like that, but I may hear a song that makes me go, oh, boom, song idea. So it depends on where I'm at mentally or physically, or if I'm tired of music. Once it gets sports season, that's all I'm listening to is football stuff. So it depends on the
right here.
That was going to be my next question is, what do you do when you're not cranking out country music?
Yeah, man. I'm a huge Razorback fan, though football wise, we hadn't had too much to worry about the last couple of years. But I'm a hardcore Razorback and Dallas Cowboys fan, and then basketball wise, I'm Razorback. But let's just go ahead and narrow it down. Anything Arkansas Razorbacks, it could be chess. I'm for it. I'm from Arkansas. I bleed red and white. But NBA, I'll start really watching around the playoffs, that kind of deal. I'm not baseball is one of the things I'll watch it. I just don't have a team. But I mean, if it's sports, I'll find some reason to get into it. So
I'm with you. Good deal. Well, tell us a little bit about, if you can, give us some insight as to what's next. What do you have coming around the bend up here, coming up with new music?
yeah, so we the record I did with Trent, geez, it's been almost 3 years now. We're finally gonna be able to get this thing out, and so we haven't announced the date yet. So I'm assuming I'm probably not supposed to say that here just yet, but I think in probably the next week, maybe 2 weeks, we're gonna announce the actual record release. And so
Great.
I went to Nashville. We shot a music video for the next single. We did a bunch of just promo stuff that we're gonna really use to amp up the release. So I mean, you're going to be seeing a whole lot of me unless you hit that unfollow button. And
Definitely not
pretty
happening.
much, yeah. So here in the next 2 weeks, I think we're going to start that campaign, and it's going to roll all the way into the release that's going to happen this fall. So it's just get this record out. Hopefully, get Neon Town to be our third straight #1. I think it's sitting at #6 right now, so it's climbing on. In fact, it's top 10, top 8 on all the charts right now, I believe. So it's
it's doing really well.
Focus on getting that one up to the top and get this record out and hopefully be back on the road fully.
Yeah, that's really exciting with the new music coming up. And man, we're thinking about all you artists and all the venues going through all this. We're selfishly as fans, we can't wait
Yes.
to get back to more live shows. But I mean, that's nothing compared to you guys trying to make your living. So just know that we're thinking about you and trying to do our part to support the music and the venues. So
man, we appreciate it. We very much appreciate it. And that's, I try to take this time too. I've been very fortunate since very beginning of May. We've been touring, whether it's acoustic or full band. We've looked into private events or just enough venues that were restaurants, or I mean, the Rustic has thrown me a lot of dates. So, but there's a lot of guys that haven't been. So it's what I tell everybody is, a lot of us make our money in touring, but what you can do is, man, when you go to bed, leave a song that you like on repeat, or, go on Spotify and leave that sucker on repeat all day long. I mean, stuff like that really counts. Go buy the t-shirt, like us, we're doing the handwritten lyrics. I'll literally with my hand write out the lyrics till my hands won't move anymore and mail those out. So just look at ways
awesome.
so look at ways you can support your artists that you like. And it's a tough time. We got to stay afloat, but like people like me, like my mama said when I moved to Nashville, I hope this works out. You don't know how to do anything else. Thanks, Mama. Although you're right, but thanks, Mama. So we ain't going nowhere. We just got to figure out how to make it work.
Good deal. Well, David, tell everybody how they can find you.
Yeah, man. The main website is davidadambyrnes.com. Byrnes. No, my ancestors can't spell. And we're on Facebook, Instagram. I've got a TikTok that I still don't understand how that's supposed to work, but if there's a social media out there, we're out there, and whatever your music service is, we're on it. So Spotify, Apple, whatever it is, just look us up.
David, thanks so much for taking time with us today. Really, really appreciate it. Always a great time talking to you. We can't wait to see you next time you come around to Houston, or heck, we might even just get in the car and try and drive somewhere to see you.
Yes,
sure.
I'm ready for that.
Come on. Well, you let me know if you do. The tickets are on me, so I got you guys.
Oh, well, thank you.
All right. Thanks, David. Appreciate it.
Hey, man. Thank y'all.
Have a good day.
Bye.
You too.
For miles and miles around, this passerby, peace and quiet stop sign, no light, black and white piece of ground, turns into a neon town.